Congratulations. Welcome everybody. I thank you guys for being here. In our industry, we deal with a lot of different things, health insurance being one of them. A lot of times we're talking so much about, our different programs, our $1 Million Baby program and different things like that. But there are so many areas and avenues that we are able to fulfill, okay? I am confident that we can talk to any person and find insurance needed for any person, any type of insurance, okay? Because of our wide arrangement of products that we offer, okay? So today we are going to have Ray, he's going to talk about a new healthcare program that we have just brought in to help us bridge the gap in health insurance that we commonly don't talk about as much, but after today, I believe you guys will have a great understanding on some of the healthcare needs that our clients need, and you'll be comfortable in introducing this to those clients. All right? All right, so Ray, come on up.
We're going to be talking about solving your insurance needs. And it doesn't matter what kind of insurance it is, we're going to be able to help you with it. We always talk about who we are. We're Life Business and Benefits, and we are an insurance brokerage firm which helps our clients understand and take advantage of all the benefits and entitlements offered through their insurance or government programs. Now, we are partnered with over 45 top-rated companies to ensure our clients are offered the best solutions for their needs. And I'm going to put a plug in for Transamerica. Transamerica is one of the top 3 companies in the United States. And we're proud to be associated with them because they're the ones that we're going to be doing a lot of business with. All right, so just understand, when we talk about the 45, they're in the top 3 of those 45, okay? Now, we did this because we want to make things a little bit easier. We're going to talk today a little bit about healthcare solutions. So we're going to pick on that one right there, the healthcare solutions. And we're going to talk about, there's a couple avenues that we can actually go with this. And the reason why we look at healthcare solutions, we look at the whole picture. There's 2 things that you need to understand about healthcare. You either have guaranteed issue or you have non-guaranteed issue. The non-guaranteed issue actually are plans, they're all underwritten, by the way, but the ones that are underwritten actually have a lot more stricter things that's going to keep you from being able to get in there, like if you have certain conditions like heart attack, stroke, cancer, things like that. Those are the policies that's going to be harder to get into. There are some guarantee issue plans that are out there that are not ACA plans, okay? And those are the ones we're going to talk about, because unless you're working with ACA, you'll see here why in a minute. I like to work with private insurances. All right, so we're going to talk about why would we want to choose Life Business and Benefits. There's 2 big reasons when we talk about insurance. First of all, we're going to be using a PPO network called MultiPlan. MultiPlan, according to Google, or formerly known as PHCS, and the reason why they're known as MultiPlan now is because nobody can remember PHCS, let alone what PHCS stands for. Okay, but they are one of the oldest PPO networks in the country. It's also the largest and the most extensive independent PPO network in America. It now offers a nationwide access to over 4,200 hospitals, 90,000 ancillary care facilities like urgent care and places like that, 450,000 doctors, whether they be primary care physicians or specialists. So no other PPO network is as widely accepted throughout the entire 50 states than MultiPlan. See, so understand, that's why MultiPlan to me is a big thing. All right, the second reason why we choose Life Business and Benefits is because what we do, we custom build your plan. it's nice to have a plan that you have. If you go with an ACA plan, you've got everything, including the kitchen sink in it. And you're paying for everything, including the kitchen sink. A lot of times you want a plan that's not going to have everything in there. Like, for example, if you're young and you're a guy, you probably don't need to have maternity. Okay? So why pay for something you don't need? All right? If you're older and you think you need to have something, well, like you're 50 years old, they always laugh at me when I say, are you or your spouse currently pregnant? It always brings a laugh, you know, to a 50-year-old, because, no, if we did, we're going to be setting world records with Abraham and Sarah, you know. So consequently, there's a lot of things in there that you don't need to have as far as your health insurance is concerned. So what we will do, we will build a plan that's specifically built for your needs to fit your budget. Okay? When people understand that, all of a sudden the price starts dropping, and they know that. Okay? That's why we do this. So we're going to build your insurance your way. That's the nice thing about how this plan works. Okay, now, why choose Select Med Silver? This is the guarantee issue plan, okay? Select Med Silver is a guaranteed issue plan. Here's a big thing about it. It has $0 deductible. Do you know what that means? That means insurance is paying first, not me. I like that. All right, 97.6, right, 98% of everybody in America who had insurance last year. That's just about everybody, right? Never reached $5,000 worth of claims on their medical insurance. You know what that means? When an insurance company starts saying, okay, your deductible is at $6,000, $7,000. I saw one yesterday. $8,500 for an individual policy. That's your deductible that you've got to reach before they will pay one dime on your insurance. Family deductibles are worse. $14,000 for a family deductible that you've got to reach before the insurance is going to pay one dime on your medical expenses. So if 98% of the people in America have never paid $5,000 in medical billing, or they've actually paid for their own medical expenses for the entire year, and the insurance never paid a dime. That's what that means. So when they set those policies deductibles that high, knowing that you'll never reach it, they're saying, okay, the entire premium that you're paying is actually going to go into our pocket. That's not good. Okay? I kind of balk at paying somebody just for the privilege of saying, I got insurance, even though I have to pay for my own medical expenses. All right? So that's the reason why first dollar coverage up to the applicable benefit is covered by the insurance company. With no deductible, they're paying first. Now, with this plan, you do have a $15 copay for doctor's visits at your primary care physician. You also have a $25 copay for specialists. I can handle that. Okay? I can handle that. But those outrageous deductibles that the ACA uses, I don't want that. So why pay for that? Great selling point for your customers. All right? Comprehensive medical coverage this plan has. It even includes maternity. Huge, because most private insurance companies do not include maternity in their coverages. All the ones that have where they are underwritten, okay, the underwritten plans typically do not have maternity, and that's the reason why they are not ACA compliant. Okay, this one, because it does have maternity included, is ACA compliant. That's huge. It has 24-hour coverage whether you're on or off the job, so it doesn't matter whether you have workman's comp or not, you're covered. Your insurance is covering you because this is your insurance, okay? Doctor's visits. You can have up to 10 doctor's visits per year on this plan. How many of you have been to the doctor 10 times a year? That's almost one a month, okay? If you're going to the doctor that often, something's wrong, okay? So 10 doctor's visits per year is a lot, okay? That's not all. There's more to it than that. Look at this. The next thing is you've got out-of-pocket maximum of $5,000 for an individual or $10,000 for a family. With this plan, you're covered right up front. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's got $350 copay for hospital admission. How would you like to go to the hospital, spend 7 days in the hospital, and all you're paying is $350? Man, that's a steal. Well, that's what this plan does. It offers that type of thing. But if you go over 7 days, obviously that's where that coverage stops and you have to start kicking in the bill. But it does have a maximum out of pocket of $5,000. I can handle that. I mean, the deductibles, I mean, they're over $5,000 right here anyway. You'd be spending that much anyway if you were with an ACA plan. Okay? So, out of pocket $5,000. PPO plan travels with you in all 50 states because it is universal like that. It also has here, I love this part, the free unlimited telemed service. 24 hours a day you can call a doctor. 7 days a week you can call that same doctor. 365 days a year, even on Christmas, you can call the doctor. Doesn't matter. This is great because at this point you don't have to worry about going to spend your valuable 10 doctor's visits. You can actually go and call the doctor and say, hey doctor, I think I've got a pink eye. He says, oh really? Put me on FaceTime. Okay, I'm on FaceTime with the doctor. All right, there you are. Okay. Yeah, you've got a pink eye. Okay, here's the nice thing about it. He's already seen you. He's already said, okay, where do you want your prescription delivered? Okay, if I'm on vacation somewhere, well, there's a pharmacy right across the street from me at this hotel. Can you have it delivered? Sure. And he'll have it there and you're ready to go. Truck drivers love this because they can say, yeah, doctor, we'll be down in this town 2 hours down the road here. So they'll have it delivered there at that pharmacy. Okay, 2 hours later, they're pulling up to that pharmacy because they pick up the prescription because it's already ready, pick it up, and they're gone. They're at very little downtime. And they love this. Telemed doctors are great. That's the new thing that's coming, okay? All right, doctor's office visit claims. How does the bill work? A lot of people ask me about this. This is the way it is. Doctor's office visits are divided up into 3 categories: short, medium, and long. Okay? Doctors love short visits because what they'll do, they'll make more money than they will on a long visit. Short visits usually run about $125, $150 per visit. The medium visits are about $200, $250. Long visits, $300, $350, $400. Okay? Now, they will make more money in a short visit than they will in a long visit. Why? Because they get to see more patients in that time. If you ever notice, you walk into the waiting room, not the waiting room, but the exam room, and you sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait, and the physician's assistant comes in and gets you all prepped. The doctor walks in. He's there 2 minutes and he's gone. Boom. And you say, what happened? I had a bunch of questions. Well, ask the physician's assistant. Why? He's made his money by being there for 2 minutes and he's gone. All right, that's how doctors work. They don't want to tell you that, but that's why they can see about 20 visits in an hour versus, what, 4 for a long visit? Well, here's a long visit. $310 was on that explanation of benefits. All right, and here, now notice right off the bat, the PPO discount is prevalent in every single one of your bills. This is why it's critically important to stay in network, because the PPO discount, in this case, they run anywhere from 40 to 60%. In this case, it was about 60%, so he knocked off $220 off of the $310 bill, and the balance was $90. Now, if it was a primary care physician, you'd only be paying $15. If it was a specialist, you'd only be paying $25. Now, if you were out of network, you'd be paying the entire bill. So that's why it's really important to work with your clients to tell them, hey, look, This, you need to stay in network because it's going to save you a lot of money on that. So, how about hospital stays? Here's a good example of a hospital stay. Notice the charges for 7 days was $41,660. I don't know about you, but that was shocking. Well, my wife stayed at Emory Hospital for a month, okay? She had a heart attack, stroke, she had all that stuff that was going on, so she was there for a month. We got a bill from Emory for $350,000. Okay, so they're outrageous. 7 days, I said, well, that's a piece of cake compared to that. Okay, well, in a case like this, the bill was knocked off, the PPO discount knocked off about 40%, which brought the bill down to $22,913. Okay, now, here's the copay, how that thing works. The insurance paid all of it except for the $350 copay for this guaranteed issue plan. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I'd stayed over the 7 days, this is where your maximum out of pocket kicks in, where you'd only be paying up to $5,000, or if it's a family, it's $10,000 right there. Really sweet on how this plan works, okay? Come on. All right, now if I was working with an ACA plan, it would be paying up to $7,000. So even for an individual, I'd be saving money. See what I'm saying? I wouldn't be paying those extremely high premiums, nor would I be paying the deductible, because that's how that works. And the deductible, it starts over every year, January 1st. See, so understand, we're used to that right now. Thank you for 2010 when our industry changed so drastically. Okay, now, how about the telemed service? Remember I was telling you about it, it was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that you can reach a doctor? Here are the top 10 conditions treated. I'm not going to go through them all, and the top 10 prescriptions written by them. As you can see there, these are common things that everybody goes through. And so you're not going to find something that they can't treat. If they do, they'll tell you, okay, now you need to go in and use one of your doctor's visits. Okay, at that point, I would do that. But let me ask you this. Would you rather, in your convenience, call the doctor and say, hey, doctor, I've got this going on? Or would you like to take some time, valuable time out of your day, go sit an hour in the doctor's waiting room, being exposed to everybody else, including whatever diseases that they have that they're going to see the doctor for, before you even get in to see the doctor? Tell them that's the way to go. Okay? So that's a very valuable asset to this product. Now, one of the things that we're going to do is by building you a complete health coverage plan, we're going to see that we start with things that's going to give you, that's the basis, that's the foundation part. There are other things that we can build into your plan that makes it uniquely yours, like dental, vision, extra doctor's visits if you need it, cancer policies, prescription coverages, short, long-term disability coverages. These are all things that you can add to it. You can supplement that plan with supplementals. Okay, that's the sweet part about custom building your plan your way. Here's a good example of adding some extra doctor's visits. The Select Med, which is also a minimum essential coverage. That's what the MEC stands for. Minimum essential coverage is what makes it ACA compliant. Okay, you want to know what makes the plan ACA compliant? 3 things: doctor's visits, prescriptions, and 100% coverage on your preventative care, or your well visits. Okay, this plan offers that, so you can add that to make that coverage possible on there. Okay, now you've got a couple of choices. I actually got 3, but I gave you the top 2 because they're going to give you the coverage. Okay, that you actually need to make this thing work. Okay, I would, if I'm looking at only needing maybe 5 extra doctor's visits and I'm not really that worried about prescriptions, I would go with the Select Med Pro. If I have a lot more issues going on with me and I need to see these doctors more often than 10 or 15, I'd go with the Select Med Max to add to it, because that also offers things like CTs and MRIs and PET scans and mental health behavior and substance abuse services, rehab services, and stuff like that that the other plan doesn't have. This is big. Now, while we're talking about the other things like that, one of the things that you want to do, you want to encourage your customers to talk about shopping their medical experiences, okay? Not just go to the hospital for everything you have. You go to the hospital for an MRI, you're going to spend $2,000. You go to an imaging center, you maybe spend about $300 or $400, okay? Guess who's going to be paying the difference? You are, okay? So talk to them about saving money by going to the imaging centers, by using the urgent care centers instead of emergency rooms, stuff like that. Getting your prescriptions, shopping your prescriptions at different locations, okay? All of these things are now available instead of just going to one place and having it all done and being stuck with the biggest expenses, okay? So definitely work with those areas right there. Now, dental, here's one of the big plans. I love this. Remember what we were talking about? Bundling plans together. I use this one, Medico here, for their dental plan because one of the things, they're one of the cheapest plans out there, but look at the coverage on it. It has a $50 annual deductible per person, maximum of 3 people, okay? You also have the preventative care, which has 100% coverage with no waiting, okay, which includes 2 cleanings per 12 months, routine exams, bite wing x-rays and stuff like that. Basic care, 50 to 80%, depends on which level that you get, where you can get coverage that way. No waiting again. Now this covers full mouth, non-surgical extractions, okay, that's important. Now your major care, this is what separates Medico from the rest of the policies that I really like. This is one of the few that I've ever seen that offers 20% coverage before that 12-month waiting period is up. Everybody else makes you 12 months before they'll pay a dime on your major care. This one, this say we'll pay you 20%. I like 20% better than none. See? So after 12 months, they'll pay 50%. This is a great thing. Then they're proud to put the prices on there. You can offer a person an individual $36 for a plan for this. They'll cover that. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Vision, hearing, same thing. You've got another great system right there through Medico. You can add that to them to whatever they're looking at. I'm not going to stay on that very long, but basically they're there. You got all that covered. Now, one of the things that we want to do when we're talking to these people that are younger than 65, they're looking toward that age. It's like, oh my goodness, it's looming in front of me. Okay, so turning 65 is a major milestone in everyone's life. Unless your employer coverage meets Medicare standards, you must sign up for Medicare within the 7-month initial open enrollment period, which is 3 months before your birthday, 3 months after your birthday, and the month of your birthday. Okay, within that time. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with penalties all the rest of your life. Now, as your agent, this is me, this is you, as your agent, I will prepare you for that transition process. Before that, this plan that I just shared with you can be a plan that just leads you right up to Medicare, and then when Medicare starts, I'll walk you through it. You see why it's important to be signed up with Medicare and all the other plans too, that you can make that transition as well for them. This is the way this thing works. So, we're here to serve you. This is the end of our presentation.
Well, technically, we'll just let them know. These are the options based off of whatever we do in the needs assessment. These are options that they can actually choose on. And this will lead them directly to whichever website, and you can go ahead and do your quotes from it.
Any questions?
From the Select Med, how does it treat specialists like chiropractors and things like counselors, or is that offered on that?
It is offered in there. It was part of the rehab part of the plan in there. I don't remember the exact details, but I do remember that chiropractor was offered in it. So I'd have to look at the brochures. And that's the thing that I go by is the brochures. When you get those brochures, you study those things because that's your Bible. That's what they give out to the customers. So you definitely want to do that.
That's the one that's never covered.
Right,
So that's on there, most likely the other stuff.
right.
And what's did they talk about the co-insurance ratios?
I'm sorry?
Did they expressly co-insurance ratios? Co-insurance.
Co-insurance.
Co-insurance, no, they don't, because you're paying a copay. See, and at that point, if you've got anything else in there, that's where your co-insurance works as a supplemental to that. So you can actually pile on other supplemental plans that will cover that difference. So that's totally up to you how you want to work that. But they'll pay the copay, and they'll pay up to that amount as to what's going to be coming on in that limitation right there.
Ray, did they go over any pricing or anything like that?
Yeah, they did. On the copay, on the pricing on there, it's not one of your better plans as far as the expenses are concerned. Because it is a guaranteed issue plan, it is a little bit more expensive. They usually run about $450 to $500 for an individual. Okay, that's the reason why when you work with the other plans, you look at those other plans to try to get them on the underwritten plans because they're a lot cheaper. In fact, the other one that I was looking at runs about $330, $350 for an individual. So you can see you want to steer them toward the underwritten plans, but if you can't, you've got a great plan right here that's going to pay for it right off the bat.
So when you're done with the 7-day hospital stay, does it go right into the plan max, or does it just
Starts-
stair step it? So I'm on my 8th day of my hospital stay, so do I automatically owe $5,000, or does
No.
it build up to that?
It builds up to that.
Okay.
Hospitals are not going to charge you that much right there on one day.
So, is there a range? Because I see that, you can kind of tailor the plan depending on your needs. So is there a range like from say $350 to $6, depending on what you?
On this particular plan, the prices are set. Whether it's an individual, individual with spouse, individual with children, individual or a family.
Based on age?
No age,
No age, it's all the same price?
all same price.
What's the age range available?
I think it's 18 through 60, 65, something like that. Because 65 you're going into Medicare.
Yeah. So John, you were trying to find out, like, what is the price range in general, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, because I saw there were more different plans and everything. So I understand that it's a set rate for each plan.
Right, now, the dental, that was its own separate.
That's medical.
So before we got into the dental, all of that was Select Med. All right, so that was all basically, you got those 4 set prices.
Okay.
And I just remember they are more expensive. They run about, like say, about $500 for per individual.
Now what would that compare to the ACA? 'Cause I don't really.
ACA runs about
with no subsidies. Because that's basically
Right,
our
right.
target market, people who don't qualify for the subsidies,
exactly,
but looking for a good plan.
exactly.
Is it comparable, a little less? or-
It's a little bit less. In fact, I noticed that the family plan runs about $1,500. Okay, for family of 4 on ACA, it'd be anywhere from $1,800 to $2,000 per family.
Yeah, I
So
know my
you're at-
parents are on ACA and they pay $26,000 a year now, part of it subsidized. That's
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
it'd be unsubsidized first person.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the reason why I really steer toward the plans that have the underwriting. Okay, because you can get a family on one of those plans for about $600-700. So
Okay.
if they qualify.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah, they're-
available in every state or in certain states?
There are certain states that some of these plans don't work in. Okay, so understand that the guarantee issue plan is in most states, but there are some states that really have a problem with. Colorado is one of the worst, believe me.
Okay, so if it's available here, right,
Uh-huh.
so I'm selling here in Georgia, they happen to go to Colorado. There's two different questions. I can sell it if I'm selling someone in Colorado, or if they travel to Colorado, then the plan, they would be serviced in Colorado.
Yeah, if you can sell it here, they're covered here.
In Colorado, they'd be covered, of course, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I just
So
checking.
if they move to Colorado, the plan goes with them.
Yeah, okay, I just checking, okay.
See, so they can still have that same plan in Colorado if they bought it here.
Okay. But you can sell in Colorado. right?
Yeah, it may not be available for purchase in Colorado. See, that may be the thing that you want to look at.
So when you, I'm a little confused, when you're talking about, choose a plan that's, fully underwritten, you're talking about outside of this? Or are you talking about within this select group, you can choose underwritten product?
You actually, not with, Select Med is a guarantee issue plan.
Okay, so. when
The
you're talking
other one
about-
that we were looking at, Standard Life, is not a guarantee issue plan. You have to get them qualified through underwriting. just
What's
like-
that called?
Standard Life is the other plan that we've got on here.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's Standard Life and Select.
Right, in fact, Standard Life right there. So, you can actually get that plan through, and that's the other one that is not, it is an underwritten plan. It is not a guarantee issue. It does not offer maternity, and that's the reason why when you ask certain questions, you know who your audience is, you know who your customer is, what his needs are. If they need maternity, I wouldn't give them Standard Life. If they're a young couple, I might say, okay, we might start the family off on Standard Life, and when you get pregnant, we'll switch you over to the Select Med.
Ray, why don't you show them, I said not to do it earlier, but show them the page for the needs assessment so that they can actually find out which way they want to go. Versus Standard Life or the, yeah.
All right, healthcare solutions. Here you've got your Standard Life, I call it the value plan. Only thing is on that one, again, they've got 5 levels of plans. To make sure they're covered, I would stay with the 2, Plan 4 or Plan 5 when you deal with this plan. Because when you look at the cost of hospital stays, those are the only 2 plans that's going to actually cover a hospital stay. See, you don't want to sell them a plan, oh, you can get this one real cheap for plan level 1. Yeah, you can get it real cheap, but it's not going to cover anything. That doesn't do your customer any good. They're going to come back and look at you and say, why did you sell me this plan? It's a waste of money to them because it doesn't cover anything. Stick with plan 4 and 5 on your Standard Life, okay, value plan. Something like that you can actually go into. Yeah, you'll actually talk about that part of the plan. Let's see, let's go on into it a little bit. All right, so we're going to take and pass that too. All right, take and pass this as well. All right, so we actually basically the same information that we've got going on like what we already talked about. All right, so let me show you a little bit more about how this plan works. This one's a little bit different in the fact that it has no calendar year deductibles, no co-pays. The other one had co-pays. It also has first dollar coverage to the applicable benefit amount, full medical coverage. It does not have maternity. Okay, that's why I say full instead of comprehensive. 24 hours, it's got up to 5 doctor's visits per year, not subject to federal health care reform mandates. It has the same PPO plan, so it doesn't matter when you're dealing with multi-plan, you're dealing with all 50 states. And it has a free eDoc America service. Same thing like Telemed, but it's a little bit, just a different.
Is that standard life or is that something?
This is standard life here.
Okay.
Okay. Standard life here, it's a little bit different. The same explanation of benefits, this is how it would pay out on this thing. You would pay, if it was a sickness, you pay $10. If it was an injury, it pays more, so you wouldn't be paying anything. See, so they divide that up between illness and injury. See the difference on that one? Okay, so that's the big difference on that one. Hospital stays, a little bit different too. Here they pay the same PPO discount, same thing right there, admissions benefit. Here, this one gives you, it'll pay up to $3,000 per day for illness, $6,000 per day if it was caused by an injury. Well, when you are there 7 days, they're paying $6,000 per day. That brings it up to $42,000. That's more than what the bill was. So what do they do with the difference? Here's the sweet part. They give it to the customer.
So it's working almost like a hospital indemnity plan?
It is a hospital
Okay,
indemnity
it's
plan.
hospital indemnity plan.
It is a hospital indemnity plan. Okay, so that's the nice thing about it, okay, how that thing works out. All right, again, same thing about the ACA. It works the same way. eDoc service works the same way. Same thing.
Now, can you use this in conjunction with your ACA plan, or you have to
Yeah.
do one or the other?
No, you can use this. This would be considered more like, ACA looks at this as a supplemental plan. In fact, they have to broadcast on their brochures that these are all supplemental plans, even though they can be a standalone plan. John,
Tami,
comment, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, my understanding of the ACA compliant versus ACA non-compliant is under the non-compliant option, possibly this one, correct me if I'm wrong, they may not cover counseling and chiropractor and things like that.
Yeah,
Because they're not subject to the core 10 requirements.
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you have to look at the brochure to see what they do cover. This same dental plan, I'd still go with Medico. All right, same thing with vision here, still go with Medico. See, the thing is, you can mix and blend your policies like this to give them a bundled plan, to give them a complete service. That's what you want to do. You don't want to leave money on the table when you can actually cover something like that. A dental plan, $36 for a dental plan? That's huge.
What's the waiting period?
Well, let's go back. Waiting period is basically no waiting period for preventative, no waiting period for your basic care, 12-month waiting period for your major care, okay? Now, that's the big thing right there. Now, the major care, it does give you 20% coverage before that 12-month waiting period's up.
What's the percentage now?
20%,
Okay, before the 12 months.
right. Nobody else I've seen does that. Everything else is all 50%, but you gotta wait for the first 12 months to go by.
Okay.
Actually, they got a maximum annual benefit that they'll pay out up to $1,000 to $1,500.
Okay.
That's what they'll pay out. So once you reach that limit, then you're paying the rest of it.
Okay.
All right, one last question.
Not a question, more of a comment. I used to have reservations about waiting periods. I don't anymore. Because there's a reason why they do that. Because people have a tendency to let their teeth get bad. Then they'll get a dental plan, get it fixed, and they'll drop it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why they put those waiting periods on there. Okay, thank you. If you have any other questions, call me later.
I am just so happy today to have Ms. Tami O'Connor come and help us today. First, let's just talk about Medicare, really. You know, when I first started in this, Medicare was the thing that sold me. You know, I remember when I first got a call to sell insurance, someone called and said, hey, we want you to come and be an insurance agent with our company. And I said, man, this is how I said, man, why would I sell insurance when I ain't even got no insurance? So this is what I thought. This is the exact thought that I had. And I remember my wife said, you ain't got nothing else going on, so you might as well go to the interview. So I jumped up. And I threw on the bluest pair of pants that I ever had, ever liked, this color blue. This color, dress pants. I looked like a clown. I had a bright blue suit on, a bright blue tie, and I went in and the guy, he started talking about insurance, and I was like, oh God, I can't wait to get out of this meeting. And then he said a word. He said Medicare. I said, Medicare? What is that? Is that insurance? I didn't know we sold that. I thought the government did that. And he started talking about everything in Medicare, and immediately I had remembered an experience that my grandfather had just went through. Because my grandfather had a stroke maybe 5 months before all of this. And he had one of the best jobs. But then after a little bit of time, you know, there were so many bills and so many little things. And it was just that word, Medicare, and it intrigued me so much that I went back and forth to try to figure out, how am I going to sell this? And then when I found out that you can get it for free, not free, zero premium. When I found out that they had zero premiums, I said, sign me up today. I can sell this to anybody. You can be a bum in the street and can afford a Medicare Advantage. So, with all that being said, Tami has agreed to come in and talk to you guys and just give you get you pumped up, because we've got open enrollment coming. So, Tami?
I still have a visual of that blue suit. I don't think I can erase that.
Yeah, it was the brightest blue.
It was blue.
It was the baby blue almost, yeah. Tami O'Connor, everybody.
So I met Julie, a Noonan resident, 69 years old, living with her daughter. Her daughter was living with her. Her daughter was a crackhead, for a better word, okay? So the daughter was pretty much taking advantage of her mom, right? And I show up at her house because I had an appointment. I was an agent, and I meet with Julie, and she's distraught. She's just not trusting me being in her house, even though she called for the appointment. Her daughter's kind of jacked up and kind of not acting normal in the house, and the daughter left, and you know, I sat down with that woman and just calmed her down, got her to trust me, let her know I'm a trusted resource. You know, we're not doing anything today. You know, you're not in the right frame of mind. I'm going to come back, and if you're interested, I'll help you enroll. But I uncovered a lot of things about that visit. She had food insecurities. She had loneliness. She was being taken advantage of from family members, right? So right then and there, I helped her apply for Medicaid. Her income was $661, okay? She didn't know where she was going to get her next meal. So my first priority as an agent was to get her Medicaid. Humana didn't matter. I just wanted to get her food, right? So I got her food. In fact, I signed her up for Medicaid, and that took some time to get approved, but I went to a food bank, got some food, and brought it to her house. Because that's the right thing to do, right? So meanwhile, I'm on the second visit, and I'm trying to kind of address the daughter, you know, like she's the issue, right? But I'm not a family member to interject myself into the situation. So that took some time. But let me tell you, my church family came around that lady, wasn't even a member yet, just got her enrolled in Medicaid. She hasn't even enrolled in Humana yet. We totally painted the whole inside of her house. Totally took out the furniture that was falling apart, replaced it with gently used furniture, and gave her some self-worth. I mean, because she was really at a low point. you know, and it felt good to do that. It felt really good. It felt so good that I forgot that I didn't enroll her in Humana. You know? And I got carried away with it. I get this letter from DFACS saying she's been approved, and I'm like, DFACS is the Department of Family and Child Services, right? That your friend, you know, Julie has been approved. So I says, Julie, oh my gosh, I forgot about Julie. So I go and I meet with her, and you know, the story doesn't end there. She's become a friend, right? An older friend, wise woman. But you know, folks, it takes a bit for someone to trust you in their circle, right? So Medicare is just that way. You have to earn their trust. So hello, my name is Tami O'Connor. I'm a senior manager with Humana. I've been doing Medicare sales since 1999.
Wow.
I was in Connecticut, and my boss said to me, "You're in the wrong job. You need to be selling." I'm like, "Okay, so what do?" He goes, "You're going to go into our internal class, and you're going to graduate from that, and you're going to be a Medicare sales rep." I said, "Okay." He thinks, you know, he just believed in me. I had no idea what I was getting into, right? And sure enough, I took the job, and I was #1, and I took that job for 9 months and made $120,000 in 9 months with that company. I slammed it. I was the only female. And I remember that guy that interviewed me, because I ended up going to a competitor. Because they paid more and it was closer to my home. But I remember during that interview, the guy said to me, "Everything about you tells me not to hire you. You're female, you've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old at home."
Yeah, they don't like that.
And, but I'm going to take my chances, and I'm going to hire you. I'm like, "Well, you won't regret it. I'll be the hardest working person." And sure enough, I ran circles around those men. What they did? I'm not going to apologize for that. I hear people say, "Well, I'm working full time. I can't take the life and health license." I'm like, please, my kids were 2 and 4, and I was working full time, and I took that license, studied it in 40 hours at night, and took the test and passed. You know? And the guy that hired me said that I had to be at work by 8 o'clock, no exceptions. And I'm like, how am I going to do that with kids? I had to drop them off at a different bus stop a half hour away because the bus got there earlier than waiting for them to get picked up at my house. You know, so there's things you do when you want something really bad, right? You make it happen, and there's no stopping you. And so you gotta have that fire when it comes to sales. You gotta have it. But if you don't, you might as well just go home.
Right.
Because you can't hire someone and motivate them. They have to be self-driven, right?
Sure.
So really, I got on my bandwagon there, but I think that was worth sharing because, you know what, we all have a story, you know? My mom died when I was 12. I had to feed myself, you know what I mean? I had to learn to do things my own way, and it was hard growing up. But here I am now, 55 years old, senior manager, no degree, no college degree, right? And I just worked my butt off, and I continue to just work hard. But now I work to serve. It's different now.
It's different.
You know, you get to a certain place, and it's always been like that for me, actually, because the more people you help, the more you're blessed. That's just the way it works, right? So integrity is everything. So let's see, what else can I share? Humana is awesome. The #1 company to work for, according to Forbes, for women.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
We're #1 in customer service, according to J.D. Powers. #1 for our mail order program, according to J.D. Powers. That's a third-party entity that looks into how we're doing, and they say we're great. I say we're pretty good too. So what I have to share with you today is actually 3 things.
Right.
I am going to unpack Georgia, but just know this same presentation is available for every state, and I'll send the link out, and you just click on the state, and it'll look just like this, but for that state, okay? So don't be jealous out there when you see Georgia's plans, because Georgia is called a Bold Gold community, share just a tidbit of information. We have an executive on site that deals with social determinants of health for Georgia. And our goal was for 20% of Georgians to be healthier. And we actually knocked that out of the park. So we're not even just focused on Humana Medicare people, we're looking at the whole population, because we know the healthier the community, the better off we all will be. So Bold Gold, you can Google that. Just go to Bold Gold Humana and you can read more about that. So let's look at our plans. Has anyone looked at our plans yet? So how many people do you think turn 65 every minute?
Every minute?
In what radius?
15,000 a day, so how about that?
65 years old, every minute of the day, 10,000 people.
Wow.
Don't you think that's a good thing for us? Yeah.
Of course.
It's a lot of people. So just think about that when you're thinking how much it takes to be a Medicare agent. There's a lot you have to do. There's certification, and continuing education. So I'm first going to talk you out of being a Medicare agent because you really need to want to do it. You want to serve people. This is the best way you can do it, but it's not easy to keep up with your certifications and keep up with the changes. Geez, when I first started selling, they didn't even have a prescription drug plan. It was just a Medicare plan with no prescription drug coverage back in 1999. So things change. You got to keep your tools sharp. You got to know about the changes. So, but with that said, if it fills your bucket in terms of, you know, your self-worth and being able to help others. Here's the market highlights. So maybe you don't know this, but Humana Pharmacy, for all our members, if they have a tier 1 or a tier 2 medication, they get those delivered to their home all year round at no cost. So you're sitting across from the kitchen table from someone and you're saying, would you like me to look up any of your medications? And they bring out a basket of medications and they put it in front of you and you're going through the labels and you're checking them on the formulary to see if they're tier 1 or tier 2. What I want you to think of is mathematically ask them, well, what are you paying? Because they're all going to say, I don't pay much for these. They're gonna tell you, I sold you $4. Well, they're taking 7 of them and they're $4 a month, right? So that's $28 a month they're paying. So do the math. Show them you can get this from Humana. Multiply that $28 times 12 months. You've just saved them over $300. And they'll be like, wow. At the same point, you want to remind them if they have a tier 3 drug, a brand name drug, that's $47 at the pharmacy. If they use Humana Pharmacy, they will pay $131. So they'll save $10, but I only bring this up because I want to help you, right? So if there's a tier 3 drug and you know someone's not LIS, they don't have low income subsidy, they don't have Medicaid, don't send them to Humana Pharmacy for those. Just do the tier 1 and tier 2 free medicines for Humana Pharmacy and let that individual go to the local pharmacy and pick it up for $47. Because most people on a limited income don't want to let go of $131 every 3 months. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's tough. So just keep that in mind. So the first bullet, I'm going to be here all day if I don't keep moving, huh? So the first bullet says 90-day supply tier 1, tier 2 drugs through Humana Pharmacy. Definitely get them to do that. If you can get them to enroll in Humana Pharmacy, you will have a member for life. I guarantee you, because it's like enrolling them in another product. They say if you have somebody in your book of business and you've sold them at least 2 things, they will remain in your book of business. So consider Humana Pharmacy a different product. Because when you're with Humana as an agent, you have to get them to sign a consent form to allow Humana Pharmacy to call that member. So that is not something that they take lightly, right? Humana Pharmacy is going to reach out and they're going to get them enrolled. And it's going to take a little bit of time for that person to get into Humana Pharmacy, right? It's going to take, probably the next time they go, the best way to get somebody in Humana Pharmacy is tell them the next time you go to the doctors, instead of having them prescribe it to Kroger, just have them send it to Humana Pharmacy. Done. Keep it simple. You know? Because if Humana Pharmacy calls them and says, I'd like to get you enrolled in Humana Pharmacy, that old lady is going to have to drag out that big basket of stuff and read off every drug and milligrams and the doctor that prescribed it and their phone number and their fax number. Doesn't that sound painful? They're going to be like, forget about it.
Yeah.
So just tell them, just go to the next time you go to the doctor's, just, have them send it. So, by far, our HMO used to be the most popular, but our PPO, oh my gosh, it's like 60-40 now. 60% of our members are in our PPO because it's zero premium. So both of our products are so strong for different reasons, and I'll get into that in a minute. The Healthy Food Card, which we're so excited about, does anyone know about that? Yeah. So, the Healthy Food Card is just that. It's a card that Humana loads with money on, and they get to go to the store and buy food. And it's for our duals, people that have Medicare and Medicaid. So next year, which you'll see, our full dual will get $75 a month to spend at the store.
Wow.
Okay.
And then our partial dual will get $50, and then our LIS person will get $25. Pretty cool deal. Healthy Food Card is a big deal.
Yeah.
The Honor Plan. So, you want another feather in your cap? Humana is the only Medicare Advantage plan that's been endorsed by USAA. Now you think about someone that's TRICARE for life or has been a veteran, where do they get their insurance? USAA for their car and their home. They're going to be calling them, asking about their Medicare. You need to call Humana. Humana is endorsed by USAA. That's huge. Okay? Many plans include dental. So back in the day when I first started as an agent with Humana, people would pay extra to get a dental benefit, like $23 a month. Their plan would be $0, and then we'd add what we call OSB, optional supplemental benefit, and they'd pay for it. Nobody has to pay for that extra stuff anymore because we've built it into the plan. Our star rating is so great that the government gives us money every month for every member, whether or not they go to the doctors. And the way we get paid as a company is our star rating. So the higher the star rating, the more we put into our benefits. By law, we can only keep so much money for our company. Dental is one of those benefits we got to add, and the Healthy Food Card.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, so our executives aren't flying around in jets, they only get to make so much. All right, so members with certain health needs may be eligible for Humana at-home care. That is true. We won't get into that too much, but because there's a lot to say on that bullet. If you just Google Humana at home, you can see a whole presentation on it on YouTube. Okay. Chronic conditions. So we have a special needs plan for people that are diabetics, and it's really horrible right now for 2021. Don't sign anybody up on it for 2021 because we have what we call the insulin savings plan, which means if someone is a diabetic, if they join our regular HMO, they only pay $35 all year round, and they don't get into the coverage gap in our regular HMO. So for 2021, if you're enrolling somebody that's a diabetic, don't roll them in the chronic plan because we didn't put the insulin savings plan in it. It was an error. We didn't file it with CMS. But for 2022, it's all good. Okay, it has the insulin savings plan. So that's a really big deal. So if you've not sold Medicare before, and right now you're getting out into the field, you will come across people that are in the coverage gap or the donut hole. Happens right now. July, August, September, October. That means they've spent, and Humana has spent over $4,910, give or take a few dollars. I don't know what the exact number is, it changes every year. That means they're paying 25% of the cost of their medications, and they need help. And they're gonna be angry that they're having to pay all that money. And you're gonna be the resource that says, no worries. I have a resource for you called, you're gonna write this down, Prescription Hope. PrescriptionHope.com is where you will refer them to. You can do a three-way call if they don't have internet. Basically, Prescription Hope has they have over 1,500 medications. They've partnered with all the pharmaceutical companies. And when that Medicare person can prove that they're in the donut hole, with Humana, it's easy to know because we send out a smart summary every time they get a prescription filled, and it tells them if they're in the donut hole or getting close to it. So you'll want to talk about the smart summary in your presentation at some point. This is going to take a bit for you guys to master, so don't let me overwhelm you. But Prescription Hope is a great resource because if their income is below $30,000, they're only going to pay $50 even if the drug is $10,000.
Say it again.
There's an income limit for a single person, it's $30,000. For a married couple, it's $60,000. And if that medicine that they're taking is on that formulary that they have, which they have all kinds of medicines that are very expensive, they will only pay $50.
Oh, that's great.
$50? Not 15.
Yeah, it's really good.
That is
So
great.
you need to be that resource. It's the only reason why I'm telling you about it. Humana doesn't benefit from me telling you that. This is just a resource you should know about. It's really helped a lot of people. Multiple selling opportunities. So you know when someone has Medicare and Medicaid, or if they have diabetes, they have an enrollment period all year round. So who knows about enrollment periods? All right, very good. Okay. So enrollment periods are important because when you have a person that has Medicaid, think of the quarters, right? January, February, March. You can enroll them one time. They can use their, what they call a special election period. They have Medicaid. They can be on United Healthcare. They could have made that decision in October and they became effective in January. And you come across them and they're on a plan that you know your plan is way better with Humana. And you say, no worries. You have Medicare and Medicaid, so you can use the special election period. And you just enroll them. And on the application, you just put the code SEPMDE, Medicare Dual Eligible. Submit the application, you're good. They can make another change. So January, February, March, they can change. They can change again during April, May, June, July, August, September. After that, they can't make any changes. So what does that tell you? You have to keep them very happy. And you have to make sure you stay in touch with them because they might call that Joe Namath number that comes up on the screen.
Right.
And think that they can get the world with someone else and then get switched.
Yeah.
Is the Prescription Hope just Georgia? Or is it
No, it's
nationwide?
all over.
Okay.
And not just for Medicare people. If you've got friends or family that need medications, they can use that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's for everybody. So, plans available with Part B premium givebacks. Am I going at a good pace? Are you guys okay? Okay. So, because I'm only on the first screen, so I really need to move it up, huh? So, plans available, you're going to find out here in a minute that our Medicare Advantage plan for just veterans has a $100 give back. Pretty dang good. What does that mean? Instead of having $148.50 taken out of their Social Security for Part B, they're only going to get $48.50. So you're putting money in their pocket, $1,200 a year to be exact. And they're going to be pretty excited about that. So we're going to unpack that in a minute. Our HMOs do not require a referral. Behavioral health now is $0. It used to be a specialist copay, but because of the mental health instability in our nation and our, it's $0 copay for behavioral health, which is great. Network highlights, we've got everybody in our network. That's why I just hired 6 well care agents. They love our network because it's very limited with well care. So we're excited about them being part of the Humana family. I can show you how to look up doctors. In fact, that's the first conversation you're going to want to have when you come across and you're sitting across the kitchen table with someone, building rapport, you know, commenting about, do they have friends, you know, do they have sisters and brothers that live nearby? Because think that's a referral. Okay, are they younger or older? Oh, they're just a year younger. Make a note of that. Year younger. Be following up, right? You probably do this already, but so if you guys, I'm going to pass out my cards, and if you ever need questions about our website, how to access, you know, the doctors, and so the big takeaway on this slide is that nation network. I can never say that word. Reciprocity. Yeah, did good. Reciprocity. So in our PPO network, our members can go to any doctor in the country that Humana has a contract with. That's pretty good. They can go anywhere, all 50 states and Puerto Rico, and see a doctor while they're on vacation. So we're going to go right into the nuts and bolts of the presentation as far as plans. I'm going to send you this file, so I'm going to whiz through it, but
This is current, right? This is for 2021.
2022.
Oh, this is, okay.
This is a sneak peek I'm giving.
Okay.
So I don't know that I can forward this to you. I'll have to get permission. Okay, so the very first, these are all 3 HMOs, and these are the counties that they serve. So if I keep going down, you'll see the counties that they serve, right? So I don't know where you all live, and what areas do you work, generally speaking?
Like DeKalb County.
Fulton.
DeKalb.
Yeah, I mean, really the whole state.
Okay.
And Florida.
Wherever they are.
So your first plan on this HMO is you're going to be your go-to for DeKalb, Fulton, Clayton. If you're over here in Fayette, Coweta, you know, you're going to go with this middle plan. And then we got a brand new plan for Butts and Spalding. So if you're working over in Butts and Spalding, now is a good time to be a Humana advocate, because we're just launching, first time ever, our HMO. Most of those folks are on our PPO. It has no premium, but the benefits aren't as rich as this HMO. So if you come across somebody on our PPO, have them take another look at their plan and get them to see the value in the HMO. So you see the PCPs are $0 for the 2 plans, and then for Spalding it's $5. Our copay for specialists are $30, which is great. No referrals necessary. You'll see the copay for hospitalization, days 1 through 5, and then it's no cost. It gets a little bit higher in this newer plan. Until we had members in this new plan, you know, the copays are not as competitive as the other 2, but as this plan grows with membership, you'll see the benefits get richer. It's just the nature of the game. So you'll see there's extra benefits in both. You've got vision and hearing and a gym membership, silversneakers.com. That's a good habit to get into when you're buttoning up the sale and you've got them signed up and you've identified a primary care doctor for them. Identify a Silver Sneakers location, silversneakers.com, put in their zip code, and let them jot down a few places where they can go, because it's going to help their mental health, you know, not just their physical, but their mental health. So they get round trips, transportation. We'll come pick them up, bring them to the doctors, bring them back, or the pharmacy. And so the dental benefit is $2,000 on that first plan. So you'll notice it says 0 coinsurance, which is a big deal. Other carriers will tell you that your first 2 cleanings are no charge, and then you have to pay 20% for extractions, or 20% for fillings, or 50% discount for dentures. We're actually going to give them, on this plan, $2,000 annually, and 0 coinsurance covers their cleanings, and then there's a $25 copayment for deep cleaning, crowns, denture re-cementation, and 50% co-insurance for dentures. This used to be $1,000 last year, so they bumped it up too. Okay, that middle plan, same thing, 2,000 annually, and then there's 2,000 annually over here. They also have vision, which you don't see it in here because this is just at a glance. I don't know if it's 200 or usually the vision goes like this. They go and get their eyes checked and then they get glasses or contacts, and the benefit ranges from $200 to $400 depending on the plan. And I don't have the complete summary of benefits up, they just show me the dental here. But my guess is it's 200 for the HMO. Any questions on the HMO?
With the give back program, which plans is that for? Is it for all the plans?
Oh no, just the veteran plan, which I'll show you here.
Okay.
So those were our HMOs, and now these are our PPO plans. And again, there's a lot of plans with Humana, so you're probably going to want to get our product guide. I'll give when this comes out, we put out a product guide every year. It's a cheat sheet. Okay? I took this picture, by the way, and it got distributed to thousands of people. This is over in Stars Mill. Yeah, I'm so proud of that. But this is a great guide, folks, because if you're working the whole state, it's going to have all the counties for the whole state, and it's going to tell you what plan to lead with, which HMO to lead with, which PPO to lead with, and then you'll just go to that page and unpack the benefits, right? So this is good. Now on the back of this plan, when you get it, you're going to see a couple of pages that are legacy plans. Legacy plans are plans that are old, right? And nobody really enrolls in them, but the people that have them like them and they don't want to change. They're just in there. They're paying a lot of money when they could be moved over to another plan. So whenever you come across somebody that's a Humana member, I already have Humana. Oh yeah, do you mind if I just ask you for your ID card? Let me just make sure you're in the right plan, because we've had some, new plans come available. And so if you see this H41410170004, any of these numbers on the bottom of their card, just know you've got an opportunity, okay, to better their situation, okay? So the PPOs are no premium, kind of the same deal. You'll see this first one has no Part B give back. All of these don't. So you'll just see on the bottom what counties they're available in. I'm not sure if we need to talk about these too much because it's pretty self-explanatory. That there's no co-pays to the primary. The specialist is 30 on this plan, 40 on that plan. It just really depends on where someone lives, right? Again, you'll have a guide soon enough to guide you to the right plan. But our PPO is very, very popular. Alrighty. Are you guys familiar with the maximum out of pocket, what that means, right? Okay. Everyone knows that doesn't include the cost of medications. It's just medical. Okay. All right. So look at that. The insulin savings plan has been added to all our plans. That's on the PPO now too. So not only do we have a chronic C-SNP plan, the insulin savings plan, which saves our members money, as in all our HMOs and our PPOs. I think we learned our lesson this year from not having it in those plans. So these are the plans that are diabetic, and they added heart for 2022, that first column. So I have to figure out what that means with the heart. Sorry, I don't know exactly if that means, if someone that has AFib or somebody that had a stroke. I really don't know the definition of a heart patient who would be eligible for this. So stay tuned. When I send the link to you all, I'll get more clarification, because it was just diabetes this year. So anyone that's even a type 2 diabetic can get this plan. But you see the copay is a little bit higher for specialists compared to our HMO. See, it's 0 PCP and the specialist is 40, and the hospitalization copay is higher at $350. And then you'll notice an RX deductible for that diabetic plan of $145 for tier 4 and 5. So you'll want to do a needs analysis on this. Make sure this is the right plan for them, because we have the insulin savings plan on all our plans. Why not give them a plan with no deductible for prescriptions if they have a tier 4 drug? Most diabetic medicines are tier 3. So they'll be able to get their diabetic medicines for $35. Of course, there's a list of medicines. It's not all diabetic medicines, but there's a diabetic medicine for each category, like a fast acting and I don't know, what's the other one? Fast acting, slow acting, and yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, so just know that that one has a deductible. I want to fast forward here to the D-SNP plans, because if you're working in DeKalb and Spalding and Coweta, our D-SNP plans are hard to beat. D-SNP meaning dual eligible special needs. Guess we're going to talk about the honor plan first. Okay. So the first column is our regional PPO. What's going on? Nobody really needs to be in our regional PPO. In my opinion, it's $92. Copays are high. If you come across somebody with that code on the bottom of their card, probably need to revisit plans with them. And here's that honor plan that I was telling you about in that second one. So we've got 2 honor plans. The one is for the healthier veteran that doesn't, you know, because the copays are lower. Actually, they made them the same. They both have a Part give back. Let's look at this together. So both of them have a Part B give back. The first column is the $50 they get back. The third column here is $100. The copays for PCP are the same, $20. $50 for a specialist, no referral required. So that's what I was thinking. Okay, so the one that has the higher $100 give back, that person's probably a little bit healthier, I would say, because the copay for hospitalization is $375. It's higher. That's usually the differentiator. So the copay over here is days 1 through 6 is $245. But if you do the math, right? So if they're in there for 6 days, on that plan, you multiply $245 times 6. It probably is about the same as $375 times 5. So it's just how they just play with the numbers. You see what I mean? So, but these plans are packed. I mean, when I say packed, I wish I had the summary of benefits to show you. The summary of benefits, this doesn't do it justice because it has a lot more in there than what you see on the screen. So, looks like the honor plan that has the $100 give back is just going to cover your exams and cleanings. The one that gives a $50 give back actually gives you a little bit more, crowns and fillings. Transportation is included. So here's the thing when you're dealing with a veteran with TRICARE for Life. Has anyone come across that and wondered what was the good thing to do?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
I couldn't tell them anything.
So here's the thing you need to be careful of. So TRICARE for Life is like gold, right? It pays for everything. TRICARE for Life has got 2 components. It has a medical and it has a prescription. If you're going to give a TRICARE for Life a product of ours, give them an MA only, a Medicare Advantage plan only. Because if they're taking a lot of medications, they're going to get into the donut hole, they're on TRICARE for Life, they don't pay anything. They don't have a donut hole. They don't have to worry about all that, right? So if you give them an MAPD and they're a high utilizer of medications and they get into the prescription, you know, problem of a donut hole, they're not going to like you very much. So the key takeaway, TRICARE for Life, it's fine to enroll them. They love it, you know. MA plan is what you want to stay with. They're going to tell you that they want an HMO because they want the silver sneakers. That's usually the thing. Or they want the PPO with prescription drug coverage because they want the silver sneakers. The MA has silver sneakers. So the way TRICARE for Life works is that if they just go to their doctor and they give them their Medicare card and their TRICARE for Life card, they're not paying anything because they're billing TRICARE for Life their copay. They're at a specialist. TRICARE for Life is picking it up. So with Humana, when they go to that same doctor, as long as they're in our network, that same doctor is gonna send the bill to TRICARE for Life. So although you see copays on here, for TRICARE for Life people, TRICARE is picking up those copays. Do you get that? So the conversation you wanna do to cover yourself, you just wanna make sure, and you tell them very frankly, if you're seeing doctors now and they're billing TRICARE for Life and you join our Humana plan, just ask them to continue to send your copay amounts to TRICARE for Life. They have to agree to do it. If they're already doing it, it won't be a problem. The problem will come up is if they start with a new doctor that you didn't check on, that maybe isn't in our network, right? That could be a problem. But we have everybody in the network. I mean, our network is huge. So they could still submit it to TRICARE for Life. Just because they're not in our network, TRICARE for Life.
said that they just get them MA on, just enrollment, MA only. Well, what's the benefit of them joining a Medicare Advantage plan?
Dental and vision and the over-the-counter allowance and silver sneakers is usually the big differentiator. And you gotta, this is debatable, so I don't know who's online and listening and sharing, and what I'm about to say is accurate to the best of my knowledge. But there's a special election period for veterans joining a Medicare Advantage plan for the first time.
Really?
It's SEP OCC, other credible coverage.
Whoa.
Let me ask you this, Tami. I just give Olson one turning 65. His effective coverage will be September 1st. And you mentioned something about the veteran buyback. For the Part B.
Yeah.
How can that work now if I've already signed him up for the?
Did he start on it yet?
No, he didn't. He didn't start. It's not effective to September 1st.
Okay, so does he have? Does he get his prescriptions from the VA?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just you go into Vantage.com, right? You know what Vantage is with Humana? Are you?
Yes.
Okay. You could. So in Vantage, there's a agent inquiry
Okay.
drop-down box.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and review the plan that has the give back for veterans with him over the phone,
Okay.
and tell him, I made a mistake. I think you should get this H5216-154 plan.
H5.
216-154 plan,
Uh-huh.
because this is going to give you $50 in your pocket,
Okay.
and this one doesn't have dental or vision. Was that important to him?
That's one of the benefits. I know he was concerned about the gym membership. He wanted the gym membership, but you said it does not have dental or vision.
No.
I mean,
But if he's not a TRICARE for Life, you don't have to be so
Yeah.
concerned with an MA only. You could do the other give back that we have. We have another give back plan that's an MAPD.
yeah, that's what I had gotten an MAPD.
You did? Okay, I would give him the PPO give back plan, which
Okay.
has dental, which is, well, you can catch up with me in a minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
let's just move on.
Yeah, because that's important because.
Yeah.
before
Well, you
we
can
get-
still change it.
before- Yeah.
You can
before-
change it before his effective date
Thank you, that's what
Yeah.
I want to do. Okay,
in Vantage.
okay.
Would that process matter if it was a widow veteran, a widow of a veteran who was on TRICARE?
Well, does she have TRICARE or does she have CHAMP VA?
She says she has TRICARE.
Okay, same thing, same rules.
Okay.
How exciting are those veterans? You guys, if you're not visiting VFW posts or trying to help build their membership, the way you can really help them is to find young veterans and plug them into the VFW, because it's a world of people that are aging, and so they need some young veterans in there, and they need to build their membership and create that atmosphere for a safe place for veterans to be. So, yeah, I'm very passionate about the veterans. They're pretty special.
That's area.
Oh, yeah, that's good. This is the Part B plan. That's a prescription. No, okay, this is still MA only. So you'll see this plan is packed. So remember I told you about the honor plan that had the $100 give back? I was an agent, I would lean toward this product. So H5216-157, no drug coverage, but look, the co-pays are so much better and it's packed with all this extra stuff. So it's $10 to a PCP, $45 to see a specialist, hospitalization's $245, maximum out of pocket is $6,100, but look at these key extra benefits. They're gonna get $225 a quarter to order from our over-the-counter book. Have you seen our over-the-counter book? My goodness, it has pedometers. I mean, it has some really good stuff. So they get to spend $225 shopping in our catalog every quarter. It's a use it or lose it benefit. And they're gonna get $2,500 for their dental. And that's first dollar coverage, no co-insurance. So they can buy, if dentures are $5,000, there's $2,500 right there.
That's good.
That's great.
Yep. Just say dentures here, or just denture adjustments, fillings, extractions, crown
Says
bridges.
dentures, there's a comma.
Dentures, oh good, There's a comma, love the
Yeah.
comma. Yeah. So that's a big deal. So here's what you want to make sure with any Humana member that has a built-in dental plan. I would strongly recommend you say to them, you know, this is a great benefit, and there's a lot of codes that Humana covers, but there's some codes that the dentist sneaks in to try to get more money from the provider. It's just the truth of the matter. So before they get any work done, tell them to get a predetermination of benefits. Okay? You can go one step further and you can show them all the benefits for their plan. And I think this is worth just sidetracking for just a minute here because it's going to show you all the what we call dental slicks. You have access to it and you probably don't even know it. You go to humana.com/SB. So I'm going to go www.humana.com/SB. You can market to dental offices. They're great partners of ours. Find a dentist office that's near a primary care doctor's office, like one of our top tier providers like Iora, GenCare, Centerwell, Oak Street. Those are our risk partners. So look at this guide. This is amazing for you online. You can do this as well. So how do I see it without, how do I get rid of this
I don't know.
here?
Actually, I've been trying to figure it out. Maybe months now.
Yeah, you can hide
Oh,
it.
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So look at this. You go to humana.com/ and you see it says for dental offices. So do a lunch and learn. Show them this webpage. Show them that the Humana HMO card, when our member comes through their door, it's not a Humana HMO network. The providers are so confused. It's our Medicare network. So if your person calls you up and says, I called the doctor that you told me to go to the dentist and they're not taking Humana, they don't take the HMO. That's when you need to get the name of that dentist office and educate them, give them a call, be worth your time, build that relationship, correct their error, say they are in our network, you know, and I can show you where to find the network. But for here, the practice, the only reason why I'm coming here is to show you that you're going to see a 2022 dental office handbook come here soon. And you can do a lunch and learn virtually with a doctor's office. Send donuts in advance. Just get some time with them on the phone and tell them, look at these great benefits. So when it comes up here in a minute, you're going to see what we call our dental slips. So for example, in our D-SNP plan for the dual eligibles, the full, you'll always see a DEN code, like DEN 189, tells you that this plan, this person is in a plan with those benefits. So you'll scroll down and you'll look for DEN 189. As an agent, I used to print this off. I probably did way more than I needed to do. You guys are probably listening to me and thinking, I'll never do that. But I'm sorry, it's just my nature. You may not do this, but I think it's really cool to send a thank you card and say, hey, you were excited about your dental benefits. Just get a predetermination of benefits and go into the dentist office with this. And let them, that way there they can negotiate with the dentist. You know, instead of the dentist trying to charge them $150 for codes that we don't cover, just tell them, hey, I found a dentist on the street that's going to do it and not charge me for those codes. They're, you know, they have power, right? You just want to give them enough knowledge to have power, empower them. So look at DEN 189. If I come over here and I click on it, see all our dental codes are right here. Isn't that exciting? Are you guys as excited as I am? Probably not. Okay. It's okay. Just bear with me. Let me entertain you for a minute. So I used to print these out and leave them in my car. So this plan, our dual plan, is $3,000, and it'll tell you they get 2 codes from this group per calendar year. They get, you know, this group every 3 years, and they get this group every 5 years. So if you come across somebody that has WellCare or another company and they just got dentures last year and they hate them, guess what? Don't lead them to think that they can join Humana and get dentures again. Because these cycles, this time frame, all the carriers see when a member got dentures. So let them know if they got dentures last year, they gotta wait 4 years before they get dentures again. Okay? So just do the right thing, and you know, again, knowledge is everything. So is that helpful a little bit?
Where do you go for those codes to pull those up? Where do you go for?
Just humana.com/SB for summary benefits, and then click on 2021 hand guide the way I did. And I'm going to go back to the presentation. So that's just another way to serve your members. So those are the, this PPO over here is, let's see, it's got no prescription drug coverage. So that's the PPO. It's another PPO. We've got a lot of plans. So these are both PPOs, rich in benefits, not the honor plan that gives you, you know, money back, what we call the Part B give back. These 2 plans are just MA, Medicare Advantage, no prescription drug coverage, but these are the plans that you show people that want dental and vision in the over-the-counter benefit. Okay? So we're going to go and finish and wrap up on our plans with our D-SNP. These are the easiest because everything's 0. There's no copay for anything. So I love these when I get appointments like this. Our 003 plan is by far the strongest plan. You'll see they're getting a $75 healthy food allowance. They're getting $500 for their vision. So, as far as their vision goes, this just happened, so I'm just bringing it to your attention. If you look at the evidence of coverage on these dual SNP plans, it's going to tell you that they have to use their vision benefit all at once. So, if they go to Lens Crafters and they get $100 worth of contact lenses, they just forfeited $400.
Wow.
So just remind them
Wow.
to just use it all. Use it all. I don't know why that is, but we learned the hard way. Me as an agent, so I'm assuming it's the same for next year. So just, you know, tell them to use it all. Hearing aids, look at that. They get an advanced hearing aid on that top plan. That's amazing. There's no cost. Over-the-counter allowance of $200. They get transportation, 75 miles per trip, 36 one way. And those are the counties that it covers. So our HMO is a really big deal, but the PPO is just as good. It's just because if people are traveling, they can use this plan. So the PPO, you'll see it has the same codes, right? But it's available in the whole state, right? It's everywhere, Atlanta market-wide. So if you run into someone that doesn't fit the mold of those counties for the 003 plan, just give them the PPO. They're still going to get some great benefits.
And what retailers are they going to for the healthy foods?
There's a lot, like Piggly Wiggly, Walmart, Kroger, Publix. Which one were you thinking?
Those.
Yeah, yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have any Piggly Wigglies really in the area, but anymore, but.
Yeah, you do.
He got some in Fairfield. And it's Piggly
Yeah.
Piggly
I'm
Wiggly, yeah.
gonna table that one.
Yeah, they still got them.
Yeah,
They not many.
they're in certain areas.
Yeah.
They're, quote unquote. they're
I don't
in
think the
certain
dollar store is in there, like, I don't think they're in the network. But look at this other one. Do you know what QI represents? Qualified individual? It's kind of a new code we added last year. So this is people that are under 65, mostly. So that's a new code. This is a partial DSNP. Do y'all
So
know?
just Q and I, they would qualify for that, just Q and I.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do y'all know
That's
how to
good.
figure out what level of Medicaid they are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a DSNP tool on Vantage at Humana. You just put in their information, it'll tell you which one they qualified for. Okay? All right. It's really helpful. And if,
That's huge.
now here's my favorite plan. I know I keep saying favorite. We're not gonna talk about this one. This extra, Humana Care Extra, I don't know one person that sold it, but basically is, if you come across someone that has a cell phone and they have a chronic condition and they're paying money for their phone, this plan will pay up to $1,000 to help reimburse the cost of the phone, because we want them to have access to some apps that will help them manage their chronic condition.
Wow.
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 Is this the Obama phone?
No.
It has to be a phone that they're paying for.
Right.
A plan that they have.
$1,000
phone.
This is for
But
anybody.
this is all 2022.
This is, we have this now too, though.
Low income.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
very,
So is this
Well-
for, is this exclusively for one of the DSNPs or for all of the DSNPs?
this is, oh, you're right, this is for, I'm sorry, it's not for everyone, it's everyone to the QI, it's for full Medicaid.
So, okay.
Yeah. So if they don't have a government flip phone and they're on their son's cellular plan, they still qualify, and so they can get that $1,000.
Okay.
So you just got to fill out a form?
That's it?
How exactly do we do this? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have to submit it, and I think that's why it's not so popular, because it's hard to explain to a senior.
Right.
So the one that I don't know where it is, it's the IFP
Understandable.
plan. This is the one you guys are gonna wanna know about. Anyone sell our LIS plan this year? It's a really good plan too. So they changed it to, the code used to be, the number was H5216241. So just know when you're looking at this guide, they changed the number to 280, just to keep us all on our toes, I guess. Here it is. H5216280-001. You'll see the specialist copay is only $15. And this is loaded with some really good benefits. So anybody with LIS can take this plan. No healthy food card though. I don't see that on here. So, are you all familiar with, we looked at all these, right? Are you guys all familiar with the member care assessment? How you earn money by doing the member care assessment? Okay, so your fearless leader here knows to get you. You have to go to Market Point University at Humana and take a class on REVEL, R-E-V-E-L. Once you've done that REVEL class, then you can, it'll send you it'll give you instructions on what to do, but basically you're gonna get an email that's probably gonna go to your junk mail, so you're gonna wanna look. And when it goes to your junk mail, you only have 24 hours to register at this portal. And once you do, when you're wrapping up the sale and you sold somebody a plan, you're gonna ask them some knockout health questions. This will help us identify members that have food insecurities or need help, okay? It's optional, they don't have to do it, but if you do it, you get paid to do it. Career agents get $40. I think you guys get $50, right? Yeah, you guys get more.
What's the time frame from the time you submit the application to the time? you
3
have
days,
to-
thank you for reminding me to say that. 3 days from the time you sent in the application that you have to do the Rebel. So be sure to do that. So that's basically our plans in the Rebel. The last thing that I'll share, if I have, do I have 10 minutes?
You have to, by the way?
Okay.
Can you do that concurrently?
Yeah? Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, for this year?
This year or next
Rebel?
year? Do the assessment and submit the application concurrently.
Yeah.
Oh, you do right now? No, it was at the same time.
Yeah, same time.
Yeah.
Some people print out some paper, you know, knockout questions, and then they go home and they enter it when you're in the field if you don't have a, you know, internet connection. Just quickly, with a show of hands, okay, so who uses to enroll people paper applications?
What is that? Not this one.
Not this group?
So not this one.
Who uses?
I do sometimes, all depends.
She's being honest.
Yeah, I do sometimes, all depends on where I'm at. If I don't have, sometimes internet, so if I'm out in the field and I don't have internet communications,
Yeah.
I actually have it.
Mhm.
And depending on who I'm with,
Mhm.
it's more comfortable with me using the paper app too.
Yeah.
They are. And then
Or
if they
if you're
can
out-
sign it, I can, you know, they're more comfortable with it because it feels like they really did do something
Yeah, I
with
get
me.
that,
And
yeah.
I can give them a copy
Mhm.
of what I have.
So the rest of you
It all
use
depends.
Enrollment Hub?
Enrollment.
Really? I'm so excited.
I wouldn't believe it, you know.
I mean, Enrollment Hub just makes it easy, right? You get the scope of appointment, then you do the enrollment, and then it lets you do the Humana Pharmacy consent form.
So
And
much easier,
it's just boom, it all populates.
so much easier.
So if you're not using Enrollment Hub, are you scanning it through your printer and sending it through the Humana Vantage? Is that how?
We have a partnership with Ritter for Medicare too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they send it? up?
Yeah, they take care of that.
Oh, okay. Do you guys get a little bonus for placing business with top tier providers?
I don't know. We can talk about it.
I know our career agents do. I don't know about the external side. I just came because Rusty told me to come. So,
Okay.
so most likely you are. I imagine it started with they always do things with the external agents before the career agents.
Yeah, we do get a lot of bonuses and a lot of different things, but we'll talk a little more.
So when you're enrolling somebody and you're picking out their doctor and you're on Humana.com and you're in the physician finder and you're looking at the doctors, you'll notice there's hearts and badges. So as long as there's 3 hearts or 3 badges, that means that doctor's pretty good. And our career agents get a bonus. I don't know about you guys, but I would ask your boss about
I never heard of that.
that. Maybe you'll get it next year. I could ask Rusty, I don't know. I'm probably going in a territory that I don't need to be doing. Is anyone registered for Reach Rewards? This is me just wrapping up, because this is a big deal. Reach Rewards, if you're not in it, you're gonna want to be in it,
You
because
said rich?
Reach.
Reach.
This is a place where you go with Humana. You can, I'm gonna send you all the information here, but let me just pull it up on the screen, because it'll do a better job. They paid a lot of money to put a presentation together, so I shouldn't try to reinvent the wheel, right? Humana Reach Rewards. This is fairly new. It came out, I guess, a couple of years ago. And I can look up you guys to see if you're registered. We get a list of agents that are platinum, silver, gold. So what it is, it used to be just available to, that's what I mean, they launched things out to the external partners. You guys had access to this last year. Career agents didn't. So now we have access and you have access. So which is fair? Because my career agents were pretty mad. This is a big deal. We're having a competition within our teams here in Atlanta. So independent agents are self-made individuals who pride themselves on constant growth. With Humana Partner Reach Rewards, they don't have to go it alone. Here's how the program supports them in their purpose and ours. to provide Humana members with a human care experience that's easier, more personalized, and more caring. Number 1, reward scaled to fit your agent's unique goals. Number 2, they will more likely do it if they're earning money.
True.
This program is accessible and easy to use. It's not all about rewards, it's about building a career. So how does it work? There's a bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and ambassador. Okay? When you move into a different category, you get more benefits with Humana. So let's just say you're starting off and you're registered and you've got $100 or 1,500 points banked. Humana is going to give you $100 towards your Kaplan professional development. Think of continuing education or the old AHIP, right? So they're going to pay for stuff, right? You move up to gold, you get some more CE credits, but then you get your premium agent customer service line, your own concierge number to dial when you have an agent, member question, a 1-800 number with a live person. How cool is that? By the way, if you're taking notes, jot this number down. 888-666-4270. 888-666-4270. I don't think they published this because of the whole 666 thing in there, and that just is demonic. Right?
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. So,
Right.
It's not published
Change the
anywhere.
last digit.
It's like a secret. If you, I wouldn't have used this number, but it's for people that are older, that, they're not going to get calling into member service and pressing 1 for this and pressing 2. Yeah, they're getting a live person, a seasoned customer service rep if you put that number on your business card or somewhere where they can see it and have them call that number. So the ambassador level is the goal because at this point you're earning some other benefits. I know there's ways of earning money for us to mail out, like turning 65 mailings for you in this program. It's embedded into the program. Let's look at that now. Yes, see, there was more things. Okay. More training. Okay, so this is just telling you how to earn points just by doing these activities, probably in Market Point University. Oh no, this is when you sell. So when you sell a new MA, you get points. When you change someone from plan to plan or sell a med sup, you get points. Are you guys registered with Mutual of Omaha through Humana, or do you have your own thing going on?
We got our own thing.
Okay. New PDP, new dental or vision. If you do your enrollment electronically, you earn points. So it's a really good thing. So power your purpose today. Visit humanareachrewards.com and sign up. You'll receive an email with your next steps. Click the link to set your password, complete your profile, and gain immediate access to opportunities. I'm just going to pull up. This one is going to be more of a, I'll send this to you and you can distribute it to your folks. I think this one is more exciting because it tells you, like, I heard people can get a mountain bike if, you got enough points. So I'm not really sure why that sheet didn't tell us that. Is this the same thing? Okay, so this is just, see the MRC order placement. So you can purchase unique marketing materials, promotional items. You just need points in order to do it. Look at that. So, again, I know enough to be dangerous, but there is a video on this. Do you want me to end with the short video on Reach Rewards? Would that help you get excited about it? Okay. All right, good. Let me do that because I don't feel like I'm really doing a good job trying to get you motivated on that, but I know it's a good thing. So I think it's worth it, and it's pretty short. I've got it in one of these gazillion folders. Okay. Reach Rewards. I'm in such denial about not wearing glasses. Okay, here we go. This is Reach Rewards.
Humana Reach Rewards is a tailor-made program designed based on agent feedback that allows you to unlock rewards to help continuously develop your skills and improve your overall business. Access to the program starts starts with an email like this one that prompts you to set a password, log in, and create the profile. That will bring you to the Reach Rewards dashboard, your destination for all the information you need about the program and project. Let's review the different parts of the dashboard so you can feel comfortable navigating the website and getting the most out of your rewards. Now, in the top left corner, next to your name, is an icon that displays your current tier level, in this case, new member. This icon will change as you progress through the tiers until you reach the highest tier, the ambassador level. Next to your name and tier icon are your MRC credits. This is the balance of the dollar amount you have available to spend in the Marketing Resource Center on things like flyers and other print items, prospect data, and promotional items. You can shop in the MRC by clicking on the button below your credit amount. This area to the right shows the total points you've earned in the program from sales activities and engaging with Humana on things like surveys, webinars, or attending events and virtual experiences. You can click on the How to Earn button here if you'd like a comprehensive list of things you can do to earn points. The tier progress area shows how close you are to achieving the next tier. Notice that the bronze icon is shown here since that's the next tier you'll be able to achieve. Click the Discover Rewards button to see a list of what rewards are associated with each tier. Another area where you can find important information is the Info button in the top right corner. Clicking on this button reveals a drop-down with a lot of valuable resources for news, FAQs, the participant policy, and Contact Us. For your convenience, a quick link is located in the bottom right of the screen, even as you scroll, with links to external sites like Vantage, Kaplan, Ignite, and the MRC. If you prefer, you can also find a link to the Kaplan site at the bottom of the page, so you can access the rewards you've earned at the silver tier, such as professional development courses, continuing education credits, and once you're an ambassador, your one-on-one coaching. That's it, a brief overview of the Humana Reach Rewards dashboard and how you can make the most of the program to help grow your business.
All right, guys, well, in wrapping up, I like to always give some parting gifts, so I just passed out coupons. These are something you'll want to use in the field. You're probably familiar with the future contact form that I passed out, okay? So I'm going to teach you real quickly how you're going to use this little coupon to get business, okay? So, Festival of Trees used to be in Atlanta every year. We hadn't done it in a few years. Anyone familiar with the Festival of Trees? No? Okay, so it used to be really popular. Basically, a bunch of corporations come together and they create this environment. It's a holiday magic happens here. You should really YouTube it because it's pretty special. All the proceeds from this goes towards helping the victims that have been human trafficked here in Atlanta. So Wellsprings is the nonprofit that this benefits. Why am I telling you about it? Because Humana donated $10,000 towards this, so I get to pass these coupons out. And here's what you can do. On December 1st is Senior Day for Medicare people only. They can use this card to get into this event at no charge. If they want more, and you need more, just call me. I've got thousands of these, okay? The idea is to have that conversation with them separate from the future contact form. You lead with this. Hey, do you think you'd take advantage of this? Are there friends and family that you think, gosh almighty, you're not Medicare age, are you? You are? How's that going for you? Well, good. Well, I'm just giving you this coupon because I want you to enjoy yourself. I hear it's going to be spectacular. They're going to have they're going to have entertainment every 30 minutes. They're going to have entertainment on the stage. The stage, there's 400 seats for people to sit, and there's going to be a stage with entertainment every 30 minutes. You're not going to want to miss it. We've been interviewing gigs and people we're going to have the barbershop quartets there. There's just going to be some amazing talent there, and you're not going to want to miss it. So go ahead and take advantage of it. When you go, you're going to see on the back, it's going to have your name. You're going to want to put your name here and where you gave this person the card. Could have been Food Depot, could have been the community center in the date. Okay, we're having a contest. The most that are collected when this event happens, people are gonna win some stuff to be determined. So, again, the future contact form, why do you want that? You wanna start doing this now, Christmas in July, right? Talk them about it. Do you have an agent? No, I'd love to just review your plans for next year. No obligation, but I am required to have you fill this form out. Gives me permission to call you. Are you okay with that? Yes. Get the future contact form, get as many as you can, and you're filling up your pipeline for AEP, which starts October 1st, right? That's when we can start showing our plans. Can't start enrolling until what date?
15.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I have for you folks, unless you have any questions.
And where do we get more of it?
You have my number.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, am I the only one who believes that Tami looks like a movie star? Is that when I saw her, I said, I thought I just saw you on TV yesterday. So, no, just joking.
Sweet.
Yeah, just joking. But did she do an excellent job?
Yeah.
And she Humana was the first Medicare Advantage plan I got into. If you guys don't know, but I started off with Bankers Life and Casualty. And Humana was the thing. And my first year in the industry, I wanted to sell Medicare Advantage plans. And I failed the test. So I had to learn how to get around that thing. Okay, so here's another thing. If you guys are not contracted with Humana, if you have not done your AHIP, we're going to start doing all that stuff in the next few days, next few weeks. That's going to be a focus because this is rich. This is big. So thank you, Tami, for coming out.